Yamunatiramanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Srila Prabhupada ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivo Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhakti Naishtaki Umagyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. We're going to read verse number 33-34 from Canto 1, chapter 17. न वर्तितव्यं तद्धर्मबन्धो
न वर्तितव्यं तद्धर्मबन्धो
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञो
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञे
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितान विज्ञा
यज्ञेश्वरं विज्ञः
न वर्तितव्यं तदधर्मबन्धो
न वर्तितव्यं तद्धर्मबन्धो
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञो
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञे
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितान विज्ञा
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञः
न वर्तितव्यं तद्धर्मबन्धो
न वर्तितव्यं तदधर्मबन्धो
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञो
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञे
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितान विज्ञा
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञः न वर्तितव्यं तव धर्मबन्धो
न वर्तितव्यं तदधर्मबन्धो
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
धर्मेण सत्येन च वर्तितव्ये
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञे
ब्रह्मावर्ते यत्र यजन्ति यज्ञे
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितानविज्ञः
यज्ञेश्वरं यज्ञवितान विज्ञा synonyms you can recite together na not varitatavyam deserve to remain tat therefore adharma irreligiosity bandho friend dharmena with religion satyena with the truth cha also vartitavye being situated in brahma avarte place where sacrifice is performed yatra where yajanti duly performed Yagya by sacrifices or devotional services. Yagya Ishwaram unto the personality, unto the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. Yagya the sacrifice. Vitana spreading. Vigya expert. Translation purport by the divine grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Therefore, O friend of religion, you do not deserve to remain in a place where experts perform sacrifices according to truth and religious principles for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is telling this? To whom? Parikshit Maharaj is telling to Kali, who is the friend of the religion. So what he is saying is, you do not deserve to remain in the place where experts perform sacrifices according to truth and religious principles for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Wherever there are sacrifices coming for truth and religion, the main Bhoktaram, who is that? Supreme Personality of Godhead. For him. Purport. Yageshwara or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the beneficiary of all kinds of sacrificial ceremonies. Such sacrificial ceremonies are prescribed differently in the scriptures for different ages. In other words, sacrifices means to accept the supremacy of the Lord and thereby perform acts by which the Lord may be satisfied in all aspects. It's very nice line to contemplate. In other words, sacrifice means to accept the supremacy of the Lord and thereby perform acts by which the Lord may be satisfied in all aspects. The atheists do not believe in the existence of God and they do not perform any sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord. Any place or country where the supremacy of the Lord is accepted and thus sacrifice is performed is called Brahmavarta. Brahma Avarta. There are different countries in different parts of the world, and each and every country may have different types of sacrifice to please the Supreme Lord, but the central point is pleasing Him is ascertained in Bhagavatam, and it is truthfulness. The basic principle of religion is truthfulness, and the ultimate goal of all religions is to satisfy the Lord. So that is actually Prabhupada is saying is actually real truthfulness, samam bonum of truthfulness. In this age of Kali, the greatest common formula of sacrifice is the Sankirtan Yajna. That is the opinion of experts who know how to propagate the process of Yajna. Lord Chaitanya preached this method of Yajna, and it is understood from this verse that the sacrificial method of Sankirtan Yajna may be performed anywhere and everywhere in order to drive away the personality of Kali and save human society from falling prey to the influence of the age. Prabhupada at the end gave the solution. One thing which is, I think, how expertly Prabhupada writes the purport. If you see a little bit deeper, right, what is the translation mentioned here? Parikshit Maharaj is telling to Kali, O friend of a religion, you do not deserve to remain in a place where experts perform sacrifices according to truth and religious principle. Truthfulness and religious principle. Wherever the sacrifices are getting performed, according to these two, religious principles and truthfulness, for the satisfaction of the Lord. Now, for the satisfaction of the Lord is essential. And Prabhupada started first line, Yageshwara. So he's saying, or the Supreme Personality of God is the beneficiary of all kinds of sacrificial ceremonies. So anywhere and everywhere, you see how this, Prabhupada always brings everything centered around Krishna. How expertly. First line, first word, Yageshwara. So he's writing, wherever truthfulness and religious principles, according to that, if sacrifice performed for the pleasure of the Lord, and here he's saying Yageshwara, he is the super. So that means Prabhupada is bringing us, you know, there is focus on definitely religion, which is Kali, and truthfulness and religious principles and things like that. But he's beginning with Yageshwara. So how expertly he just brings the center point into that. I was just continuing so nicely. Huh? And then elaborating on that, such sacrificial ceremonies are prescribed differently in different scriptures for different ages. So going further deeper, you know. So uh, now Prabhupada is talking about sacrifice. What is mean by a sacrifice? In other words, sacrifice means to accept the supremacy of the Lord and thereby perform acts by which the Lord may be satisfied in all aspects. So, if we perform sacrifice to somebody, what it means? We are trying to please means we are trying to accept that they are superior, right? And accepting subordinate position because we are doing sacrifice for their pleasure. So, for demigod worship, like for example, Lakshmi Pujan or Ganesh, when there is a new business in India, people open then they worship Ganesh, Vignaharta. So they are trying to please Ganesh. They are trying to please Lakshmi. So here Prabhupada is saying sacrifice means to accept the supremacy of the Lord. And there are different various scriptures and at different ages. And there are different prescribed methods differently. So, you know, but the center point is Lord may be satisfied in all aspects. And then further he goes down. Now ultimately, um, if you see like in Shastra also, right? All the demigods who take the sacrifice. What they say? Krishna is supreme. Everything goes to him. Yesterday we had a beautiful drama, where huh? Keshav Kashmiri, what he said, Saraswati came and she said, he is my Lord. Everything is coming from him. You are doing pleasing me, but he is the who I worship. He is my Lord. So ultimately, Krishna is the supreme personality. Even same thing we can relate here, right? He is the center point. And then Prabhupada is turning his attention to atheists do not believe in the existence of God and they do not perform any sacrifice for the satisfaction of God. Any place or country, and then name particularly given in Shastra, which Prabhupada is mentioning, is Brahma Avarta, wherever these sacrifices are performed, according to truthfulness and religion. Hmm. And then there are different countries in different parts of the world, and each and every country may have different types of sacrifice to please the Supreme Lord. But the central point is pleasing Him is ascertained in Bhagavatam, and it is truthfulness. What is the real meaning of truthfulness? Just think about it. Prabhupada is writing different parts of the world, each and every country may have different types of sacrifices to please the Lord. And if they are not keeping Krishna in center and performing that, is that truthfulness? So Prabhupada is saying, according to Bhagavatam, that is truthfulness. Correct? So if you are performing sacrifice and you are not keeping Krishna or a Supreme Personality as a center and you are doing sacrifice aiming somebody else, that is not truthfulness. You see that point? So there are different parts of the world, different countries, and they're doing differently. But center has to be Krishna always. And His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj gave a class yesterday. He was talking about unity in diversity. That was the theme of the class. And he was explaining many, many points. And you see, this point comes here. Unity in diversity, right? That's what I was relating because just I was hearing that class today morning. And um, Pundrik Vidyanidhi and many examples he gave actually how that proves university unity in diversity. And like Shamanand Krishna Puji was talking yesterday, right? Tiger, Mahaprabhu touched the forehead and said, chant Hari, you know. And there are different animals, deer, tiger, and elephants, and many animals. So there is a diversity. There are animals, and human beings. Unity is Hari. So he's uniting together. So unity in diversity. And that's what here it is comes like there may be diverse sacrifice, right? Everywhere in each part of the country, right? But the unity is Krishna. Krishna unites everything. And if you try to understand in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that is actually real essence, which Krishna himself is speaking. What he's saying is, if you perform your dharma according to the scriptures and stay in the harmony with the demigods, I am pleased. But right now, if you see in the age of Kali, everything is going against that. You know, so many conflicts in the world. Right? And Maharaj began that class actually with that. Current conflicts, right? So, so many wars happening. And what is the reasoning behind that? I am better or I want to be safe. So it's so much selfishness, so much egoism, right? I wanted this, but you didn't listen, so let me attack you. And then so many innocent people are getting killed. So a real essence is getting missed. That is the reason of suffering actually. That is the whole reason of suffering. We call AI world, civilization and things like that. But the real point that human beings are missing is um, these values: compassion, truthfulness, religiosity, sacrifice. Nobody is for paying attention what is mentioned in scriptures and how it needs to be followed. As long as my body needs and my selfishness is fulfilled, people think, oh, we are getting modernized, civilized, and things like that. But the reason nobody Nobody is trying to contemplate and understand, even despite of so much civilization, why human beings are suffering. See, only bodily suffering doesn't mean suffering. The mental suffering is also there. Look at the stress and then anxiety people go through, relationship problem. Even if your body may be perfectly healthy, but if relationship or anxiety is always there, what is the use of that perfect body and perfect wealth, right? People like miserable, depression, suicidal thoughts, and so many suicides happens every day. So much distracted from this real essence. And the Bhagavatam and our acharyas has always come and try to cultivate that to bring it together. Further down, what Prabhupada goes is the basic principle of religion is truthfulness, and the ultimate goal of all religions is to satisfy the Lord. In the age of Kali, the greatest common formula of sacrifice is Sankirtan Yajna. So, you see, purports of Prabhupada is always Prabhupada, he expertly right, and at the end, he brings back to the essence, giving the ultimate, he's saying, expert how to know what is that? The greatest common formula of sacrifice is Sankirtan Yajna. So it is hard to understand. People think, यार वो chanting करने से कैसे कुछ हो सकता है? Do Sankirtan, how is it possible? It's very hard to understand. But then the problem is we use our intelligence in a wrong way. It means rather than keeping faith, what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, people think, really? You know, really by chanting Krishna's holy name this happens? I always remember like one time Brahmananda Prabhu, that time, you know, uh, everybody used to come and bow down. He personally said that in memories of Srila Prabhupada. So as soon as Prabhupada walks in the temple or when Bhagavatam class is happening, Prabhupada goes to come to Vyasasana. Prabhupada is walking. Jai Srila Prabhupada, and everybody bows down. So he was telling like, I'm not getting feeling to bow down. I'm not feeling to bow down. Some Westerners you see they're standing, they don't bow down. Others are bowing down, but they just like, what these people are doing, I don't know. So there is no feeling of bowing down. Then he did not bow down. Everybody, Prabhupada noticed, Prabhupada didn't say anything. Then he went to Prabhupada and said, I'm not getting feeling. What do we do? What do I do? I should get the feeling and then I can do it. But I'm not getting feeling. Then how can I do it? So Prabhupada said, you bow down and then feeling will come. So he gave the solution. What solution he gave? You do what is said and then it will happen. So the problem is if Hare Krishna Mahamantra or Sankirtan Yajna, here it is mentioned, do it. It will happen. Why do we think it is not? I mean, we actually, it's a simple thing actually. If it is mentioned, do it, then we should do it. And then it will happen. Another example is like analogically we understand, right? And again, I tell it my personal example. Doctor gives a prescription. This medicine take 2 times a day, morning and night, right? With meal, 2 tablets for 7 days. Complete the course, and then your disease will be gone. Correct? So he writes prescription. लिखते हैं ना doctor सुबह शाम. So I started taking medicine, and after 5th day, I felt disease is gone. Right? And I felt temperature कम हो गया. अभी 2 दिन और क्या 4 tablet और लेना है हटाओ. And I stopped. And after a few days again disease came back. So I thought, अरे फिर से आ गया. Went to doctor. Doctor asked first question, did you complete the course? No, I just did it 5 days because it was gone. He said, no, there is a reason why I gave that prescription of 7 days because 5th day your fever will be gone, but there are still some bacteria stays in the body. Those needs to be cleared out. If they don't clear it out, then they again increase and then again disease will come back. So that's why those 7 days, 2 days extra courses for that to finish them. Even if your body is not showing you temperature, that doesn't mean they are completely gone. So that once a bacterial viral disease, even if it is gone, there are still some traces, right? Like the viruses. So that time, that's why you follow the prescription. Don't use your intelligence to modify the prescription. So we have to be very careful what is written in Bhagavatam, what is Prabhupada is telling. And those lines has to be seriously taken. If people are not understanding the Sankirtan Yagya and saying, Prabhuji is telling many times, chant, chant, chant. Prabhuji, एक राउंड अभी मे बी प्रभु जी हो नहीं पा रहा है सुबह. अरे यार भगवान इतना दे रहे हैं, 8 मिनट भगवान के लिए नहीं निकाल सकते क्या? हाँ? इतना सब कुछ प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, खाना पीना सब कुछ तुम्हारा, सब कुछ 8 मिनट उनके लिए नहीं दे सकते क्या? मतलब व्हाट इज द व्हाट कैन वी से रियली, राइट? सो the greatest common formula of sacrifice is Sankirtan Yajna. That is the opinion of experts who know how to propagate the process of yajna. Lord Chaitanya preached this method of yajna, and it is understood from this verse that the sacrificial method of Sankirtan yajna may be performed anywhere and everywhere in order to drive away the personality of Kali. Personality of Kali, if you want to drive away, this is the best formula for unity in diversity. What is that? Sankirtan yajna, which will hold entire creation actually. Because in creation, what are the real two truths? There are only two things which are eternal and real in the entire creation. What are those? Jivas and holy name. Besides that, everything is going to vanish. Spirit, soul, and holy name. These are the only two things which are real in this creation. Other than that, your mind will go away, intelligence go away, body go away. अमेरिका तो पहले था नहीं, बाद में अभी भी चला जाएगा. Nothing is going to stay. What is essential? Jiva and a holy name. That's the essence actually everything. So if it is performed anywhere and everywhere, that unites. Sankirtan Yajna will hold things together and save human society from falling prey to the influence of age of Kali. Influence of this age. So we have one more verse to cover. So I'll read the Sanskrit once and then we can read the translation. यस्मिन् हरिभर यस्मिन् हरेर्भगवान् यस्मिन् हरेर्भगवान् विजयमानः यज्जात्ममूर्तेर्यजन्तं सं तनोति कमान् अमोघन् स्थिरजग्नमानम् अंतर्बहिर्वयोर ivasya atma. Translation: in all sacrificial ceremonies, although sometimes a demigod is worshipped. Prabhupada is coming to that point from previous verse. The Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, is worshipped because He is the super soul of everyone and exists both inside and outside like the air. Thus, it is the only thus it is he only who awards all welfare to the worshipper. Raj Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Navichan Bhagwan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada. Thus he is only who awards all welfare to the worshippers. It is even sometimes seen that the demigod like Indra and Chandra are worshipped and offered sacrificial awards. Yet the rewards of all such sacrifices are awarded to the worshipper by the Supreme Lord, and it is the Lord only who can offer all welfare to the worshipper. Bhagavan clearly Prabhupada is writing, Indra Chandra ne kiya to ultimately is coming from Krishna only. But see the quality of Krishna. He doesn't want himself to be noticed here. Even though coming from everywhere, he's just staying behind hidden and he's not telling, Arey, fool, I'm only giving you, don't understand that. He's not boosting himself, right? Even if the demigods are saying Krishna is just okay. It's not. And in Kurukshetra war, he said Arjuna fight and gave credit to Arjuna. Everything is happening according to his will, right? And he is the one who is doing everything. The demigods, although worshipped, cannot do anything without the sanction of the Lord, because the Lord is the super soul of everyone, both moving and non-moving. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Himself confirms this in the following sloka. Yappi anye devata bhakta yajante shraddhaya vita tepi mam eva kaunteya yajanti yaganti avadipurvakam. Whatever a man may sacrifice to the other gods, O son of Kunti, is really meant for me alone, but is offered without true understanding. So this is the sense. Whatever sacrifices people are doing to other demigods, XYZ, right? That is really meant for Krishna. But he is saying, but it is offered without true understanding. It is actually for me, but they are doing it without true understanding that it is actually for me. The fact is that the Supreme Lord is one without a second. There is no God other than the Lord Himself. Thus, the Supreme Lord is eternally transcendental to material creation. But there are many who worship the demigod like Sun, Moon, and Indra, who are only material representation of the Supreme Lord. These demigods are indifferent, qualitative representation of the Supreme Lord. A learned scholar or a devotee, however, knows who is who. Therefore, he directly worships the Supreme Lord and is not diverted by the material qualitative representation. Those who are not so learned worship such qualitative material representations, but their worship is unceremonious because it is irregular. So, clear distinction. Those who does not consider what is Krishna is the essential, Krishna is the essence, he is a real worshipper, and by their uh, misunderstanding, what they do, they worship these demigods. They do not understand that the real essence is that, and Prabhupada is saying, so their worship is unceremonious because it is irregular. And another point is, those people who do this, who are they? Not intelligent. Those Prabhupada is writing, uh, you see that. Therefore, he directly worships the Supreme Lord. Who's that? Previous line. These demigods are indirect, qualitative representation of the Lord. A learned scholar or devotee, however, knows who is who. Learned scholar or a devotee who is intelligence, he knows who is who. Therefore, he directly worships the Supreme Lord and is not diverted by the material qualitative representations. So, yesterday, Prabhuji was telling, who are the most intelligent in the class? Who are the most intelligent? Sankirtan Yajna. Destroy the material world, right? Material desires and material life. Material life was the word. And then those who are really intelligent people, they take to the holy name. That is really intelligence. So coming back to our thing, right? Even despite of giving doctor's prescription, if I am not following it, then who am I? I'm a fool. I'm not intelligent. Intelligence is something which is told and you accept it. But then the thing is that as soon as you start coming, probably you don't have a faith. I mean, again, talking about myself. But gradually, by the association with the devotees, that faith comes. Prabhupada says, right? If we do not have faith, what do? We associate with one who has a faith, and that faith will come eventually. So, even if there is no full faith, maybe we are coming to programs, to the temple, to begin with, like for prasad, or to begin with for in our case, like we wanted association for our child kid. Prathamesh was small. Let's go, there are families coming, so he will get some company. Something the other Krishna actually sees that, and you just get into, right? Just need one reason, one basically kind of thin gateway to getting. Again, that is selfish, but that's why prasad or association or kirtan. People like to hear the whole. People like dancing and kirtan festivals. That's why Yugal Kishore Prabhu monthly one festival should be there because people like festivals. And how nice festival was yesterday. Everybody jumping, dancing, kirtan. Endeavor goes behind, but then the joy is so nice. Glorifying Mahaprabhu. It's a summum bonum, and whoever receives that mercy, and if they feel the taste once, they will come every Sunday. So that will happen is like festival to festival, then Sunday to Sunday, and then it will become regular. And that's how it gets more and more, and that's how the intelligence is awakened. So coming back to that point, right? Who are accepting the holy name as the real essence and worshipping that, right? Then those people are really intelligent. And at the beginning, that intelligence is covered. But with the devotees who have that intelligence with their faith, slowly by association, then the faith starts developing. And then holy name is taken seriously. And by chanting the holy name himself will purify the mind and re-establish that faith. So that's why Prabhupada says, right, the the process and the goal is same. What is the goal? To perform devotional service. And what is process? Perform devotional service. So by performing devotional service, we will get to the goal of performing devotional service. That's why, because uh, like three stages of nama, you know that, right? Nama bhas, Shuddha Nam, and like that. Nama prad, Nam bhas, Shuddha Nam. So gradually, by the holy name only, everything will come. But stepwise, with faith, with just thinking, oh, other churches are chanting, let me chant. With that faith, if that is taken, I mean, prescriptions, we don't have faith in doctor's prescription. We may say, okay, 5 दिन में खत्म हो गया, हटाओ. But if you just say, okay, बोल रहा है तो करते हैं. It's a simple thing, right? He's saying, let me do it. Casually, if he's saying, let me do it, then it will work. Okay, it's 8:33. We'll take a stop here. Is there any question or comment? If not, okay, we'll end here.
I love the connection of unity in diversity. In the
Uh,
previous verse, the main goal is to accept others' free will
uh,
and sacrifices for his satisfaction.
uh,
And that is unity. That's a kingdom.
yeah,
Everyone comes together.
yeah,
That is, I really like that connection.
yeah. Even actually, now, when you see how Prabhupada always like, according to Krishna and Shastra, in Vrindavan, when there was an installation ceremony, it's not like ISKCON pujaris came and did the Krishna Balaram installation. Those locals were invited, local pujaris, and Prabhupada was sitting and doing whatever they were saying. So Prabhupada respected Brajavasis and this process very much. It's not like he said, "Oh, you don't know Shastra and you just do." So, you know, um, there is a system, and then which Lord Himself has established. So, respecting demigods, nothing wrong in that. If you want to please uh, Ganesh, please Ganesh, no problem. But the understand that who is Ganesh getting the um, whatever he is getting and giving it to you is coming from Krishna. If that understanding is there, there is nothing wrong. But the people out of false ego say, "My this is supreme and why Krishna?" And people become envious of Krishna. That is the problem. That is the problem. If it is understood in a right way, in Detroit temple have Ganesh deity, right? And perfect. Lord Shiva is there, Vrindavan Dham, everywhere, protecting Dham. But the essence, if it is understood, this is not wrong. But it gets missed. That's the problem. Okay, we'll end here.
Hare
Shila,
Krishna.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
So, so I was just thinking, one second, Pradeep, if you can mute it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No. So when the initial thing, like when you're saying about like the sacrifice, so I was just thinking like for from this current stage of like Kali or where the years where we are at, the sacrifice, like it's not like old days like where we sacrifice like animals or like this thing or any of the, even like this sacrifices as like mind level, like where we are away from social media, away from phone for a day, away from um, not seeing any medias or entertainment, those kind of things. So should that be also like considered as a sacrifice, like at this point, or what do you think, Jyoti?
That's a great point, Prabhu. You know, whatever Rupa Goswami, what he says, do whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness, reject what is unfavorable. So what point you made is really very important point and essential point, and you're right. Whatever it takes for us to remember Krishna, focus is on his holy name and pastimes. If Krishna is there everywhere in our mind throughout the day and night, and we try our best to keep our mind. What Krishna says, Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyadimam namaskaru. Only one thing, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So you made a essential point. That's the essence. That's a sacrifice in this age of Kali, correct? Staying away from phone. Because your time and energy or your intelligence is getting drive away by this age of Kali, and you are very right. Social media enters this age of Kali enters through the social media. What is age of Kali? Illicit relationship. Those, if you open some videos and some pictures are coming, right? Kali is bringing you. Kali is pulling you in that we should understand that not to go there. Use intelligence and stay away. Don't test it. Well, let me see. I'm powerful. I will. No, it's Krishna's extra energy. Don't go there. So you are right. We should stay away from these, and that's actually a sacrifice. Yes, bro, you're right. In this age, right? Real austerity, we say performing Ekadashi Vrata is good. But the real austerity is austerity of mind, controlling your mind and focusing on Krishna. So that's the essence. Is that good, Mani Prabhu? Thank you so much for adding a very great point.
Thank you, Roji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Dandat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय हरे कृष्ण